I spent 2 years thinking about one moment. He set me up. In our world, you always go back. He just left him there. That's what I can't forgive.
What are you thinking, Toby?
This could put him away for life. It's time we make him pay. But first, we're gonna need a fast car.
Y'all ready? We're doing this.
Racing is an art.
Revenge will surely come.
But racing with passion, that's high art. And I think that's Toby Marshall driving the chariot of the gods.
I'm willing to give $6 million to anyone who puts a stop to him.
We'll settle this behind the wheel. I can feel love, vengeance, motor oil all swirling together.
There's an APB out for your arrest in 10 states. Maybe we should rethink the plan.
I'm never gonna stop.
You are out of your mind. I love it.
Ask you, out of all of your castmates, I know you've raced Dominic, but is there someone that you wish that you could have raced on screen?
I still want to race our director, Scott. He's just, yeah, he just loves to talk so much, and so I would like to get behind the wheel with him.
The way that he directed this film, there weren't a lot of special effects in a sense of like computer animation.
There's zero CG, and so all the stunts were practical, which is just unreal because a lot of the stuff in this film is just insanity. So when he said he wanted to do all the stunts practical, I thought he was out of his mind, but he did it, and he did it in a very, very safe way. You know, first of all, I love Steve McQueen, and I loved, you know, all those movies. You know, he was a racer before he was an actor. He just lives and breathes cars, and so that's kind of, you know, what this character is, Toby. I mean, he just lives and breathes cars, loves racing, and they wanted to do a throwback to the car films that kind of really started the genre, and so that, you know, really excited me.
Coming off of Breaking Bad into this film, how is that to adjust?
There was a bit of a hesitation for me. I mean, you know, I was so lucky to be a part of a show that I was just so passionate about, and, you know, people really loved, and so I wanted to, you know, really be picky on what I was gonna do next, and so. But this was it. I mean, this was, you know, I started shooting this film the day after I wrapped Breaking Bad, and I read the script, and it was just such a fun, crazy ride. And I mean, it's definitely an action car film, but there was such a great story behind it, and I just love these characters. So yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your character's road from like revenge to redemption.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this film is. It really kind of, you know, follows Toby, who he gets thrown in prison. He spends a couple years there. He got wrongly accused of doing something very terrible, and so he comes out of prison with revenge on his mind, and so he has to race across the country, you know, in less than 48 hours, and is after a very bad.
Need for Speed fans are just so crazy. How do you think this movie is going to surprise them? And what do you think that they'll be pleasantly, you know, happy to see on screen?
I think, you know, they'll be very happy that it puts the audience in the driver's seat. And, you know, if you're a fan of the game, that's where you're at. You know, you're racing around these fast cars around this beautiful country of ours, and that's what happens in this film. I mean, we're across the entire country, and the audience is in the driver's seat. But you know, we were working with a blank canvas because there's no narrative in the video game. So I think they will be pleasantly surprised that there's a really great, gritty, fun story involved.
I heard this is not your first cross-country venture. I heard you made one in a 82 Corolla. Is that true?
Yes, 82 Toyota Corolla. Yeah, that was my first car. You know, when I moved out to Hollywood, I just packed that bad boy up and just and moved out.
Yeah, how fast were you going on that trip?
Yeah, I mean that car barely could make the speed limit, but I loved it. It was my pride and joy.
Tell me, what's your favorite type of racing?
I like it all. I liked racing around in this film. It's just, you know, I learned while shooting this film that most cities, I'm sure there's an amazing track just outside of Boston that you can just take your car and race around on. And I've got addicted to it. And so it's great. So if you want to race, you can do it in a very safe way and go on a closed track and do it.
Please tell me, because I do have a lead foot myself. It comes straight from my mother. It does. She gets out of speeding tickets all the time. I'm not so lucky.
Yeah.
Any tips for getting out of a speeding ticket?
Don't speed.